Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another Power Rangers Dino Charge review. And today I'll be taking a look at the Ptera Charge Megazord, which is the newest release in the Dino Charge toy line. Now, last time we were at Soundout review, that wasn't Feral Rex Week, I looked at the set of new figures for Power Rangers Dino Charge, including the 5-inch version of this Megazord, here. And I had said at the time I hadn't found the deluxe one, and lo and behold, 2 days into Feral Rex Week, I found this guy. So, I picked him up at Walmart. He was $35. The price has gone up on Megazords now, hasn't it? And I'm super excited to have him as Ptera Charge Megazord. Now, it has not debuted in the series yet, so, you know, I can't really provide story details here, but I can talk about the toy itself, and the toy itself is quite cool. Now, when it comes to this Megazord, it is packaged in the standard Megazord box, same size box as the Dino Charge Megazord here. We'll put these side by side for the moment. And because the Dino Charge Megazord's nice and flat, that's the way the box is designed. This guy's got a giant pterodactyl head sticking out. So in order to combat this, Bandai has this piece here, which is the pterodactyl head, along with the battery off to the side, and they have this piece in place. Now this piece basically kind of looks like that, which is interesting concept, but it has no basis in the series from what I can tell, just based on, you know, the Japanese footage that we've already seen. And so the thing is, it's kind of weird as a piece, especially since the piece doesn't do anything else. It is just here to make it look like there's not a hole in the toy. It makes the toy look a lot cleaner, which might be a positive for some people. If you don't like the giant pterodactyl head on the front, you could definitely go with this instead. So there is that piece, and I did want to talk about that, as most collectors won't really bother with it, and they'll just leave the charger and the pterodactyl head in place. Now, the thing is, this piece has no place to go, but I applaud Bandai. They didn't want to make their toy look like garbage, so they did include an extra piece, which is nice. But, without further ado, let's take a look at the Ptera Charge Megazord in pterodactyl mode, as well as its Dino Charger. So let's begin. Now before we take a look at the Ptera Charge Megazord, I do want to look at its included Dino Charger. Much like the Dino Charge Megazord, you do get a clear version of the main Zord's charger. Now, with the Dino Charge Megazord, there were 2 other Zords included. Here we only have 1, so this is all you really need. As you can see, it's a clear charger number 6, which is the Pteranodon, or the Ptera Charger, appropriately. You see it's got that nice gold to it. The QR code here, the Bandai Power Rangers Dino Charger scanner app has not updated to include this, so it doesn't have that functionality yet. But as you can see here, you got the Pteranodon powering up and powering down. So powering it up, we can use it in the good old Dino Charge Morpher, the giant yellow dino gun. It still has to have orange flare caps for some reason. Anyways, opening this up.
Ptera Charger, engage! Energize! Unleash the power! Pteranodon, Power Ranger Gold!
So now you got Gold Ranger power going on there. So that's pretty sweet. It is our first release of the Ptera Charger. We do get another one in a Dino Charger pack, I think in the most recent wave that just came out. So, there is that. Anyways, without further ado, let's take a look at the Ptera Charge Megazord itself. So this is the Pteranodon mode for the Ptera Charge Megazord. As you can see, it's absolutely massive. It is quite the wingspan. Especially when you compare it to, like, the Dino Charge Morpher and see that it's, like, really, really long. So, it definitely is something that couldn't be packed in Pteranodon mode, and it had issues packed in Megazord mode as well. So it was kind of a weird case, which is why we have useless black piece now. So anyways, looking at the Pteranodon, it is nicely painted. They did get most of the paint apps in place here. All the gold along the edge, all the silver in the chest, the blue on the head. Now they did skip out on the lightning bolts on either side of the what will become the arms. But I don't mind that too much, as it still got the gold on the legs, which works really well. As you can see, back here there are these 2 cannons. These cannons do not appear in the Japanese footage, so therefore it should not appear in the show. nor do they appear on the Japanese toy. These are something that Bandai included for a very specific purpose, and that purpose is its Dino Charge gimmick. In Japan, when you inserted the Judenchi into Pteranodon, it activated sound effects. Now, because there's no sound effects in this guy, we need a new gimmick. So Bandai included these cannons. So in order to activate them, you have to open up the Pteranodon's mouth, take the Dino Charger and plug it in here. Just gotta line it all up, slide it in, push it, and now you get these two cannons that spring forward. Now these cannons are hinged, so they just flip forward, but now it's got additional weaponry. Now, just in case you don't want a non-show accurate cannons, they come right off, along with the head. Sorry. They come right off. They're just attached with a couple clips right here. You can just pop it right off, and you can forget about it. You don't have to worry about any of these pieces being left behind. So there is that benefit to the Megazord, is that they did include these cannons, but they also gave you the option of not having them, which is great. Other than that, there's not really much else to the Pteranodon mode, so we might as well transform this thing. First, we got to make the camera a little bit taller. So in order to transform it into Megazord mode, the first thing you need to do is split this up so that you have two pieces here. Then you want to take the bottom half, which will become the legs. So you want to fold these around like this and like that. So you got those. And then the torso, a little more complicated. You got to fold this down and this down. This down and this down. You'll notice down here that there's these pegs. These are fold-away pegs in Japan. So in order to balance out the Pteranodon mode, they added this additional peg that's on a sliding hinge here, which is a really nice touch. It slides away so you can't see it, but it does fold out to balance out the Pteranodon mode. Anyways, last but not least, you got to connect the two parts together, then fold these down and open up the face mask to have the Ptera Charge Megazord. So, this thing looks really good. They made sure the paint worked for the Megazord mode, which is much impressive. I do love how Bandai is figuring out what paint apps really need to be there. Now, in terms of stability, even though he's got thin legs, he is a solid brick. He's not going to fall over. And in terms of articulation, he has the 360 shoulder movement. You can also move his arms out and then they start disconnecting. And that's about it. Now, there is one thing. These do not move anymore. On the Japanese version, they did swing down in front of his hands. They don't anymore for one of two reasons. First of all, pinching hazard. We don't want those on Megazord toys anymore. Second of all, it would get in the way of these, because the cannons do detach from their holster so they can be held as guns on the Ptera Charge Megazord, giving it another functionality. These cannons aren't just there for fun. They actually can be used by the Megazord. Also, if you don't like the non-cannon cannons, you can just remove it here, which also his head comes with it again, because I'm filming a video review. And you can just take these out of his hands like this, and like this, and they're gone, and you can forget about them, and now you have show accurate. So what does it have in the show? Well, in the show it has blades, so it's just basically the Pteranodon wings folded down into blade weapons. Works a little bit better in the series and on the 5-inch figure because they're smaller, like that. But here they are gigantic. So there is that. Now something you may notice with the Megazord is he's a little wobbly. In Megazord mode especially, he does have a tendency to just fall right over. He's solid, but his feet are small, so if you like bump him wrong, he's just going to topple over. It's probably my biggest complaint overall, is just that he just kind of rocks a little too much. Like the Dino Charge Megazord rocked a bit. This guy rocks a lot, and his hip joints don't feel very solid. And that may be from over time transforming him too much. The clips are solid, but it's just he feels a little rocky. But you can fix his stability, as he does have the ability to combine with other Zords. Flipping these up will reveal two connectors, just like the Dino Charge Megazord, which will allow you to plug in the Parazord here and the Raptor Zord here. Now these allow for a combination that we'll probably see in the series, and with the fingertips here and especially the gun here, it stabilizes them a lot. Even though they've added more weight, the balance is better, so you can see that he's not going to He's not gonna... Okay, he's still gonna fall over. His thin legs are kind of like the biggest issue. And that's my only real problem with the guy. But, other than that, as you can see, looks good with these combination. You could also do an arm swap with the Dino Charge Megazord with these arms, which we might as well do. I do like these universal connector pegs. It does make the whole gimmick between the figures with the arm swapping work a lot better when it's not just the Dino Charge Megazord that can do it. So you can see there. Other than that, the arms do stick out a little bit, but not much we can do about that. I think it looks fine overall. But other than that, this guy does more. Can you believe it? He does have the ability to combine with the Dino Charge Megazord. And in order to do this, we need to pull in the Dino Charge Megazord. We also should pretty much just transform this guy into Pteranodon mode. But first, for the Dino Charge Megazord, first needs his arms back. That's step one. Give him the arms back because you're reviewing a toy and you've got parts everywhere. So for the Dino Charge Megazord, you need to remove its helmet and you need to remove the tailpiece, and it's all good to go. So we'll just put that off to the side. Ptera Charge here. You want to remove the head, and you might as well just remove the charger as well. You want to close up this head here and fold these out. Split this in half like this. Fold those out. See, this looks familiar, huh? Because it's basically just turning it back into Pteranodon mode like that. So you got that going on. You then want to place the helmet of the Megazord there, and using these two pegs on the back here, plug these into the Megazord and fold these feet out. These will come in handy with some stability. Then bring back the Dino Charge Megazord, attach the Ptera Charge here with 4 different pegs into the leg there, or the back there, sorry. And then you want to take the helmet like this, fold this down so you see there's a peg there, and you want to just place this right on top of the Megazord's head. And now we have what is known as the combination between the Dino Charge and Ptera Charge Megazord that has not been named as of this recording. It has not appeared in the series. It will probably be something cool, I imagine, because Dino Charge has cool names for things. So, that is the combination. Now this is the very controversial combination, at least from the Japanese side, as during Kyoryuger, the tailpiece did not reach the ground. This guy had electronics and was super heavy, and the connections could fold away, so they weren't very strong, in addition to the already breakable clips of Kyoryugen. So, how did the American version fare? I've said in the past that they feel more sturdy than their Japanese equivalents. Well, you can do this. It is that sturdy that you can pick him up by the backpack and shake him, and he's not going to disconnect. That's what's incredible about the way that Bandai of America has done these Zords. They have made sure that even though they are lacking in paint and they don't have sound effects, they did figure out how to make them sturdy. And that is super important because American parents will complain more than Japanese parents will. And if their toys are breaking, like, as soon as they're, bought, then there's going to be an issue. So overall, I'm really impressed with this combination. Other than that, there's not much to speak about it. It's just kind of, Pteranodon backpack plus new helmet. But the fact that you can shake it from the backpack and it's not going to fall apart or break is fantastic. I have made sure that over extensive testing of the stability of this is not going to break anytime soon. If it breaks, it's going to be 10, 15, 20 years down the line, not 10, 15, 20 months down the line. So I'm very impressed. Good job, Bandai of America. I gotta say that this combination was the part I was most worried about. And I have no doubt the rest of the combinations for the line are going to be sturdy, considering the way this works. So that'll be great. Also, the wings are a bit lowered now, so they're not blocked by the shoulders. Also, this guy's a shorter shoulder span, so that makes it look really cool. Overall, a fantastic combination. Overall, I gotta love the Ptera Charge Megazord. This is probably one of Bandai's better Megazords from over the years. While we had things like, the Super Megaforce Q-Rex being extremely accurate to its Japanese counterpart and not lacking very many functionality, the Ptera Charge Megazord really does top it. And that's because Bandai of America Zords are infamous for removing functionality. We lose electronic gimmicks, or we lose, door opening gimmicks, or whatever. We always seem to lose something in the transition between Japan to America. With the Ptera Charge Megazord, we lost the electronic box, but we gained the stability of the combination. We gained the solidity of the connection. We don't have to worry about our Ptera Charge Megazords snapping our Dino Charge Megazords in half. The lack of an electronics box really helps the toy. And then Bandai added functionality on top of that by giving us the cannons that can be over the shoulder. It can be in the Pteranodon mode. It can also be handheld like this, where they look like Wild West kind of pistols, which kind of adds to his whole Western sort of theme. And the thing is that when it comes down to it, any Bandai of America Zord that adds functionality from its Japanese counterpart is doing a better job than every other Bandai of America Megazord. If you see one, absolutely buy it. It's a fun toy on its own, and if you have the other Zords, it's even better. And I can definitely say, if you haven't found it yet, don't worry, it'll make it out to more stores. Just keep checking back. It'll come back in stock. So, until next time, be sure to stay tuned for more videos here on Soundout 12. When I find new Dino Chargers, you can expect a new review. Until then, when the Monster of the Week figures come out, I'll review them. Any Power Ranger stuff that comes out, I will definitely be reviewing. Also, stay tuned for my other two shows, Model Kit Monday on Mondays, where I review model kits from the Gundam series and more, and Soundout's Toy Chest on Thursdays, where I have reviewed so many different toy lines. It's kind of amazing I own things from all those lines. And, till next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.